Motivating your team members during times of uncertainty is one thing, but how do you as a leader stay motivated yourself? Recently, I did a 1-hour talk where I shared 5 tips on how you as a leader can keep motivated. The one that resonated the most is to prioritize your priorities. This video is a very short extract from that webinar where I talk about just how you can go about doing this.
So what you see on the screen here are 2 jars, and would you believe it, with the same amount of contents. But you'll see the left-hand side jar, it all fits in nicely. The right-hand side jar, it really doesn't. Those bigger rocks or pebbles, those represent the things that fill your tank, the things that make you feel filled up, the things that are really important to you. These are the things we should prioritize. Now, what happens is, unless we put those rocks into the jar first, we won't have room for them. The jar will look like the right-hand side, okay? And the rocks are just not, we're not going to have room for those things. But if we identify what those rocks are, in other words, the things that we ought to prioritize, the things that fill us up, we put those in the jar first, you will always squeeze in the sand and the smaller stones, the things that don't matter as much. So if you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you're never going to have enough time for the things that really matter. Now, it's interesting, research done by the Mayo Clinic shows that we only need to spend 20% of our week on activities that fill us. And I'd say across the board, whether it's work and whether it's personal play. Okay, you only need to spend 20% of your week on activities that fill you in order to allow your resilience to be built and in order to prevent burnout. So that's a really interesting fact. Okay, work will always be work. There are things about your job that will always feel like work to you. But identify the things that fill your tank. In other words, maybe it's something like you love to collaborate with others. You love to rally the team together. Maybe it's about feeling like you're supporting someone or helping someone or feeling like you're winning, making progress. Maybe it's about opportunities to use your expertise. What fills your tank in the workplace? And in your personal life, what fills your tank? Is it spending time with loved ones? Is it getting out into nature? Is it exercising? Have a think and then, schedule those priorities. Schedule your priorities and then prioritize your schedule. In other words, put those big rocks in your jar first. We don't tend to do that. We tend to sort of, okay, well, if there's time, then I'll do those things. But even with your work, okay, schedule the things that fill your tank. Now, I know that many of you, you've got, time. Time, where do you get the time? So here's just one tool that you can use to make space. The first one is have a think. What do I need to eliminate? Okay, what is some of the small stuff, the sand that I'm involved in or doing that really doesn't need to be done? Okay, what can I eliminate? The second thing is, what can I automate? Are there some things that you can automate? This is one that I've grappled with as well. Okay, as I've tried to be more efficient with my time so that I can make room for the big rocks in my life. And the third one is delegate. This is something that leaders really struggle with. And ask yourself the question, when something lands on your desk, is this something that I really should be doing, or should I be delegating this thing? Is this something that nobody else can do but me? All too often, we are bailing other people out because we want to support them more, or we don't want to ask. We know that they're also having a difficult time, but actually we shouldn't be doing everything ourselves. There are some things that we should be delegating. So I'd like you to just spend a couple minutes reflecting on this, prioritizing your priorities, and just answer these questions for yourself. What activities fill me? Do I actually prioritize these? And if not, what can I do about this? Just make a couple of commitments to yourself.
My name is Liz Lucht, and I'm on a mission to change the world of work by helping leaders become more effective, teams more cohesive, and employees more engaged.